I'm Leela Cyd. I'm a photographer and storyteller based in Santa Barbara, California, but you can find me traveling all over the world on assignment, shooting food, people, interiors, and travel for all kinds of different magazines, books, as well as commercial clients in the hospitality industry and other areas. Now we're going to address camera angles. So for every food shoot, I always keep these 4 angles in mind. And by shooting in these 4 different ways, you know you'll get to one good photo. So it's a bit like an insurance policy. So I always shoot overhead, which is from above, at a 3/4 angle, at a 90-degree kind of straight on angle, and I also like to get really, really close, so a macro point of view. So those are my camera angles that I always go to. Now I'm gonna grab my camera. Okay, here we have the 3/4 point of view. This angle can be found a lot in commercial work, in advertising. Any commercial you've seen usually uses this food angle. It really makes you want to dive into the plate of food. It makes things look really, really yummy because it really is the same perspective that you have as an eater at the table. Think about it. You're not overhead, you're not sideways, this is kind of a tabletop position. So here we're focusing on the very bottom of the frame, emphasizing those cookies and a little strawberry left over from the cocktail. Here we are shooting the straight on angle, or sometimes called 90-degree angle. This is perfect for showcasing food that is tall and has volume. So glasses full of things, bottles, you definitely want to use pedestals. Think mountainous food. So a big pile of pasta would be great, or big fruit bowl, anything that has height. If you're going to use lots of flat plates, this would not be the angle for you because you wouldn't really be able to see the food from this straight on style. In this case, we are showcasing the cookies, so that's what I'm going to focus on and leave everything else a little bit soft. I'm using my 100mm lens, which I love for food. It creates this nice dreamy effect where the focus is on the cookies and everything else just kind of falls in a nice softness. Okay, now we are talking about the macro shot. This is just such a safe bet. When all else has failed, I inevitably get really close, and it really forces you to look at the textures and the shapes of food and get minimal. So we started with tons of stuff in the frame, and now we're ending with just the most beautiful cookies of all, the little petite French macarons in all my favorite flavors, and just a hint of the cocktail in the background. And that's what we're going to leave it with. This will be a great addition to any food story as a really tight macro shot. So here we have the overhead angle. This is so popular right now in cookbooks, photo shoots, for magazines, all over the place you see this type of look. And it's definitely one of my favorite go-to angles. You'll want to keep in mind shapes and line and texture, just like you've been doing for everything else. But in this case, it's particularly important because you don't have any of that shallow depth of field to work with. You just have line, shape, and color. So I like to try to keep everything to scale, which means when I'm plating the food, I like the food to match up with the plate. So I wouldn't try to put a tiny cookie on a giant platter without anything on it, and vice versa. I wouldn't try to load up a plate full of pasta that's too small with no edge showing. So that's it for overhead. Go out and have fun with it.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest videos.